Last time we left off,
Maga Messi showed allegiance to his almighty God. Pochettino, before the Nations League, decided it was a good idea to say that the US could be the best in the world in 5 to 10 years. He also said he wanted to destroy Panama, and then lost to them in the semis and later Canada in the third place game. A very tough window all around, with most of the players being extremely underwhelming. But hey, at least it can only go up from here. Alright, let's be real. When has this ever meant anything positive? You obviously know things somehow turned out worse. By the way, I'm sorry if the mic quality is not so great. It's because right now I am visiting my parents as I'm recording this video. So I'm actually at my old place. Don't worry though, I think this is only gonna be for like one video. Going into this summer, the US had one last chance to make something out of this horribly botched 4-year project: the 2025 Gold Cup. However, Balogun, Dest, and also the US's best player from last year, Anthony Robinson, were all out due to injury. And then you had the Club World Cup, and fun fact, the Gold Cup starts on the same exact day as this tournament. Does anyone at CONCACAF have an actual working brain? Anyways, because both Dortmund and Juve are in the competition, that means the US would not be able to call upon Weah, McKennie, and the PR man. Now with numerous key players out, the Gold Cup squad's quality dipped. And then Christian Pulisic sent it into a complete nosedive. Last month in May, Christian Pulisic, who was coming off his best club season ever, decided to opt out of the Gold Cup squad. Initial reports stated it had something to do with the fact that he was avoiding a risk of injury and needed a break. Which honestly, fair enough, you know? A lot of players over the last few months have been speaking out about this match congestion and their fatigue and the lack of breaks, so, you know, I get it. That said though, this is the team's last chance to really create any kind of synthesis with the new coach. It's also an opportunity to raise morale, as right now it's worse than that of the average resident in North Korea. And Christian's opting out of this? Not even considering limited minutes or hell, just being a dressing room figure? I never want to hear this guy be called Captain America ever again. Christian Pulisic's decision, though, had him facing a ton of backlash from pretty much every single space in the USMNT sphere. You had pundits criticizing the winger, fans were angry, talking about how he doesn't care about his country as much as he wants people to think he does, me included, and not once did Pulisic ever publicly address any of this. On top of this, you even had former players coming at him. Landon Donovan criticized Pulisic's decision, which is funny coming from the guy who did the exact same thing and was eventually left off the World Cup 2014 squad as a result. But instead of Christian coming out and pretty much taking advantage of this very easy slam dunk, his dad comes to the rescue with a screenshot from ChatGPT. I fucking hate soccer parents so much, man. And what do you know? Christian Pulisic liked the post. I mean, this is what frustrates me the most about this whole situation. Not the fact that he's taking a break or anything like that. The fact that he's just bitch made. Refuses to clear the confusion just so fans understand what's going on and just decides to hide behind his daddy. You are 26 years old, man. I didn't think it possible, but this situation just makes me more annoyed, frustrated, and quite honestly depressed sometimes. Like, it's come to a point where I've needed to step back and just emotionally invest myself into something else that won't drive me off the walls. So a couple months ago, I saw this tweet about a rom-com anime where the main couple is already together. Yes, this is the escape I need. One problem though, it's not available in my country. I think you know where this is going. But thanks to today's sponsor, Surfshark, I was able to switch locations from the United States to Hong Kong. Thank you, Surfshark. Now I'm able to fill in the empty void in my heart with a wishy-washy romance about two co-workers doing a terrible job at hiding their relationship. Hong Kong isn't the only country you can access region-locked content, though. In fact, you can access it anywhere in the world thanks to Surfshark's over 3,200 servers in 100 different countries. Surfshark also uses humanized privacy and security solutions to safeguard your data, meaning you can now browse the internet safely without any stress of someone stealing your personal information. So if you're looking to change your life forever, you're gonna love this next part I'm about to say. Because if you use my link displayed on the video or in the description, you can get Surfshark for an extra 4 free months. And there's no risk in trying this out because Surfshark has a 30-day money-back guarantee. So use my link surfshark.com/Mac to access region-locked content anywhere in the world and keep your private info safe. And a big thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Alright, so quick update. He finally addressed the backlash via a podcast, And quite honestly, it resolved absolutely nothing. No pushback whatsoever, basically disregarded how the fans thought, and never once attempted to even understand the anger. It's very simple to get back on the fans' side. All you gotta do is say, hey, I'm sorry if you feel this way, but I just need this break. It's just that simple. There's nothing else you have to say, alright? But he just continues. Because instead, I'm just hearing this excuse of how leadership goes beyond the 90 minutes. Okay, so then why didn't you offer to be a locker room presence? I mean, it's just so annoying and so disingenuous. It took this whole storyline getting out of hand for him to finally take responsibility. And even then, he didn't. Whatever you think of him right now, though, that is a massive loss for the squad. But not all was lost. You still had Chris Richards, Malik Tillman, Tyler Adams. There's also Diego Luna, who looks like the antithesis of your average post-2020 US men's player. And hey, maybe this is an opportunity for the fringe players to make a name for themselves. In our first friendly before the Gold Cup versus Turkey, it looked that way, as in just the first minute, Houston Dynamo's Jack McGlynn lights a firecracker to start off the game. Scratch the so-called starters. The boys are gonna be just fine.
And that's given away!
Well, if it isn't the usual suspect.
Now Mali to the byline, pulls it back, and Akçakolu couldn't get there, driven back across goal, and it's put in by Akçakolu! And Turkey!
The US were so out of their element that quite honestly, we're lucky we didn't concede 5 to these guys. Because if that were the case, the Turks in Berlin would have started claiming the entire state of Connecticut as their own. Actually, I don't really mind that much. There's nothing there. But when this game was going on, I was actually with Tactical Manager during his live stream of the game, and the US was so bad that I got off the camera pretty much like the 30th minute.
I'm gonna go watch the Albania-Serbia game. You have fun, buddy.
Sat behind the laptop and just started saying stupid ass shit to entertain myself.
Macwell, thoughts on ABGs? I love them. I love ABGs.
Anyways, our last friendly before the Gold Cup was against Switzerland at home. And I swear to God, this performance should be considered treason. I haven't seen a defense this bad since Pulisic's interview. I mean, the simplest of passes made the US's opponents look like prime Bayern Munich. And it just kept getting worse because this team has no fight, no passion. They just gave up and made the Swiss look as threatening as they've ever looked in the country's whole history. And by the 36th minute, the US were already down 4-0. 4-0! Psychosis. Just what the doctor ordered, eh? Now again, just like the last game, I was kind of all over the place. This time, I had just arrived at my parents' place. First time I visited in like 6 months, and we had a delicious dinner, a great bowl of pho. So, thankfully for me, I missed all of this. 'Cause I swear to God, man, I was already pretty much mentally exhausted after the whole TST experience. So, if I lost my mind, I'd probably never find it again. But after 90 minutes, the US were embarrassed at home once again. And even worse, they didn't record a single shot on target throughout the whole match. Oh, fuck! Over the last 2 disaster classes, I'll be honest with you, there has barely been any performance that I can consider at least decent. And I'm gonna be real, some of the players that didn't make the cut for the Gold Cup squad would have probably performed better, and some of these omissions just in general are very confusing to me. For example, how did guys like Joe Scally not make the squad? As far as I'm aware, he wasn't injured. Also, I gave the benefit of the doubt for Poch in the last window. I was wrong. I was so wrong. This guy is awful. I know PSG had no midfield, but did I really brainwash myself? Did I really delude myself so much to the point that I believed a guy that lost to Burak Yilmaz in the Liga with fucking Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe was gonna help us? I get there's been limitations to what he's been able to utilize right now, but at some point, man, you gotta figure out at least something. Or at the very least, make the players care. Because despite the fact that the World Cup is in less than a year now, it's like no one in this program gives a single shit. I mean, I've stopped caring as much too, because why should I be wasting my time with a bunch of overrated players that obviously don't know what it means to play for the country? For me personally, man, like now that the USMNT is just out of my mind, like I don't care about them anymore, there's nothing to be proud of in this country right now. Last week, when I was at TST and they decided to play the national anthem before the final and then also did the whole fucking plane shit, I mean, I didn't fucking remove my hat. I didn't put my hand on my heart. All I could do is just laugh to myself. Because this shit is so ridiculous. Because how could I be proud of a country that right now is just deporting innocent people, you know, silencing any protesters, you know, they're just shooting people out in the streets. Why should I fucking have any kind of pride for that? I'm seeing videos upon videos upon videos of just innocent families being broken apart from their children during school hours, after graduation or before graduation. How the fuck can I be proud of this? You have people who are being arrested for simply just speaking out about this or any other cause that doesn't align with the government's groupthink. Land of the free my fucking ass. I mean, they even have plans to deploy ICE at the Club World Cup. It's not like you can just ignore this shit. It's as blatant as it gets. Also, I'm so fucking sick and tired of the finger pointing because everyone is so damn selective with what they choose to blame. Oh, it's the coach. Oh, it's the MLS players. I've even seen some dumbasses blame the rainbow numbers. What the fuck do colors have to do with defending? It's so extremely counterproductive because in the reality of all of this, the root of the USMNT's problems is this disgusting greed in our country. Everything not only has to make money, it has to squeeze every single fucking penny out of your pocket. Ridiculous ticket prices, the attempted monopolization of domestic competitions, and let me not forget, pay to play. It is all why our program is the way it is. And to think this will be solved by a new coach, oh, we gotta bring in BJ Callahan again. Or, you know, to fucking rely on the next generations like the fucking U16s, the U9s, the U2s, whatever the fuck. It's foolish. It's insanity. We got the Gold Cup in like a day or two as of this recording. And I'm serious, man. We could actually be grouped. Not only that, we could be an absolute embarrassment on the world stage next year. And if you think that'll prompt any kind of change, just remember, we failed to qualify in 2018, and 7 years later, nothing of note has changed besides the fact that our players don't know at all what it means to represent their country. I'm so fucking tired, man. Stay tuned when I crash out about Vietnam next week. But what do you guys think? Will we make it out of the groups of the Gold Cup? The World Cup? World Cup 2050 maybe? But of course, a massive shout out to all our members, including Janos Balash, Lugar BB, Araisan, Brazilian Fury, Jeremiah Owusu Ajimang, Valera, Django, Anazir Makalongcom, Alex Rod, Sliderkid, Tako Okafan, Kentra Agacha, Saint Terran, Sylvia Citrus, Rashford Enthusiast, Cheesebait, Winter Gel, Finn Likes Rugby More, Davox, The Portergeyser, Wise Orange, Polar Protos, Von Fan, Lucian Von Kreuz, Gezetka Specialkivics, A Ghostly Owl, Coney Wolves, Leakstab, Matanai, Sketchy Card, Apollo, Congo Jas 1, German Sayu 7, Thrilling ADT 13, Los Milos, LeJames Braun, Facinho, Jamie Vardy's 10th Red Bull, Nightwalker, Knapside, Money Cash Hose, Quantavious Pork, Lilia Lover, Stewed Monk, Tyler A. Davis, A Red Devil for Life, Tung 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 Sahur, Red Yellow, Kev C, Dominic Griffin, Kyler Krebs, Mohammed Al Tanib, Nish, Patrick Barley, Rashford God 5, Raspberry Ale, and Unbroken Persona. If you'd like to become a member on the channel, there'll be a link down below and up in the annotations. You can follow me on Twitter if you want, follow me on Instagram if you like, follow me on Twitch. Once I get back, I'm sure we'll be doing some streams. But until then, I'll see you guys.
Hey guys, it's Maxwell from the Friday Friends, and today we will be playing some Cat Mario! Yay!